Over 1 million football supporters in Britain turn out to support their teams each week, and 30,000 come here, Bramall Lane, the home of Sheffield United. Fans spend thousands each and every season to follow their teams far and wide, and people who don't share this passion often question why fans go to such lengths. Today we'll uncover what makes supporting a football club more like a religion than a hobby, and why so many people are so passionate for their teams. First, we'll talk to Andrew, creator of the popular fan opinion website Roy's View From and co-host of Blades Pod. What drew you to the club and made you start supporting the Blades?
It was my dad. I think if I grew up a Wednesday fan, I'd have been kicked out of my house about 7, to be honest. So, but yeah, I think 1988, I want to say my first game. I can't remember a thing about it because I was too young. But yeah, my dad was a United fan, and he used to go home and away all the time. And yeah, like I say, I think it's the same with everyone. Once you start going, especially from a young age, you're not getting out of it. That's it, isn't it? So, but yeah, so my dad is the fault of why I support Sheffield United.
Why do you think that fans spend so much time and money following United hundreds of miles each weekend?
I wish I could answer that, because I don't know. I do it myself, to be honest. I personally love the days out. I think it sounds so pathetic this, or bad, but you get to go to places you'll never go. Like Stockport. Where would you ever go to Stockport if you're not going for an away match? And you get to go to little towns and places like that you'd never go to. And again, it's part of the camaraderie of it. It's almost like being 14 again, where you're just out with your mates and you can basically do what you want, and you can get a bit leery without getting into any trouble and things like that, and just let yourself go a little bit. And it's every week, and it's something every week to look forward to that you've got in your life.
Do you think that the club has an impact on the community in Sheffield?
Yeah, I do. I think especially like around the grounds, and I think you're seeing that at the other side of the city with Sheffield Wednesday. I think they're paying so much money at the moment to get into their stadium just to watch what could be League One football next season, and obviously businesses around suffer that because your crowds are down. We're in the Premier League this year, and every single pub, on the corner, or shops and everything like that are absolutely full to the brim because there's more interest in it. So I do think it's important. I think it's important for probably the economy as well as Sheffield. If we had 2 Premier League teams and we were both doing well, it'd be fantastic.
What drew you to the content creating side of supporting United and made you get involved with Blades Pod and The View From?
To be honest, I fell into it by accident. We were after a particular game. I went on a forum, a Oldham forum, and they were saying we were playing, Sheffield United played really well in that particular game. So I took the quotes and I just posted them on the Sheffield United forum, and people liked it. And I started doing it every week just because I enjoyed doing it. I only did it at wins at first, to be honest. And then other people wanted to know what were being said, like on Twitter and things like that. So I was set into a website. And as for Blades Pod, Ben, who created Blades Pod, I think it is the first Sheffield United podcast. He used to do it with a guy called Jay, who had to leave because he got snapped up to work for Peterborough United. And now he works for Luton Town in their analytics department, doing signings and things like that. So Ben had a couple of guests on, and then he asked me to come on just to talk about my view from the website and things. And we just let it off, and then really enjoy doing it. Even seasons like this, it's good to. It's quite cathartic. Rather than me shouting and swearing after a game, I get like a safe space to sort of talk about what I think about things.
When reading The View From, you can see the passion that every fan base has. What do you think causes people to have such a strong attachment to their clubs?
It's hard to not be cliched about this, but I think there's a couple of things. Is that when people say it's your religion, I think non-football fans don't really understand what that means. When I talk to people who's not into football, and they don't understand whatsoever why it means so much, and it is that community and that family, because the grounds can change, the players can change, the manager can change, the fans obviously change, as people pass away and others come in and stuff, but it's the community that I don't think you really get in any other sort of medium. So I'm really into music and things like that, but it's not the same. If you like a band, it's not the same as supporting a football club. So I think everyone, and everyone's so defensive of it to the point of that's where it becomes like a religion. I see our fans and other fans argue points that are indefensible just purely to stick up for their own club, So yeah, I think it is just that community and everything. It does become sort of so important in your life because it's one of the few constants in your life. You might change your relationships, your jobs and everything like that, but you'll never change your football club.
The greatest period of the Blades' success came at the start of the 20th century, and this is what's helped the club to become a staple within Sheffield to this day. The club have always felt like they represent Sheffield as a whole, and this is due to factors such as the nickname of the Blades, which references the city's steel-producing roots, and the fact that the club have always played right beside the city centre, helping to feel entwined within Sheffield and its people. While the Blades haven't had any major success in almost a century, support for the club hasn't wavered, as home league attendances are currently at their highest since the ground became all seated in the 90s. Next, we'll meet Nick, creator and host of United fan channel, The Sheffield United Way. How did you begin supporting the Blades?
Well, as most Sheffield United fans go, we don't do it for the glory. We do it because we're born into it, and that's exactly how it happened for me. My dad's a Sheffield United fan, his dad before that was a Sheffield United fan, and all my family are season ticket holders, so I never really got a choice.
What made you want to start the Sheffield United Way?
So the thing was, I was big into YouTube at the time. I really enjoyed watching people doing FIFA content, and that's how I started. Then I realised that my passion lied in Sheffield United and Sheffield United content. At the time it was just Johnny Shaw and View doing content, and he was doing vlogs, and that really wasn't my thing. So I started doing match previews, match reactions, and it kind of just snowballed from there. I really enjoyed it, and people seemed to tune in.
What's it been like to have the opportunity to interview some of United's key figures, such as numerous players and the owner Prince Abdullah?
It's just crazy thinking about how far the channel's come, and the fact that we've interviewed some great people, let's say from players to managers to the owner to staff at the club as well. I really enjoy every second. It's nice to get those snippets of what fans want to hear, and you hear crazy stories that you would never hear from kind of on Sky Sports or something like that. So that's why I absolutely love doing interviews with former players and other Sheffield United features.
Has this changed how you see the relationship between fans and players?
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I know that some of the players watch the content, so they're in tune with what fans are thinking, fans are saying. Sometimes that's not a great thing for a player to watch, but I know firsthand that some of them have said that they watch the channel. Also, it's great that the owner, whether you like him or not, comes on the channel and speaks about all things that fans want to hear about. I understand that the confidential things at the club he wouldn't necessarily want to speak about and we shouldn't necessarily know about, but the fact that he comes on shows that he's really wanting to engage with the fans and wanting to get the fans and the club closer together with the players and everything. So yeah, it's fantastic to see. I really like that part of the channel, and yeah, forevermore.
What do you think causes football teams to be followed like religions?
The thing is, with religion and football, it just comes hand in hand. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't watch football, that don't understand, but they're quite similar in the fact that we go here regularly, same as kind of like a church. We go and support like they would worship, and also we sing. It's a crazy thing. It's a weird thing. It's a weird concept that we sing and praise these sorts of players, but I'm not a religious man, and I know for a fact that this is the closest thing to religion. It's not more important than my family, but it comes very, very close.
As football clubs become more commercially driven, do you think that United still represent the people of Sheffield?
It's a tough question, that, really, because having gone to a foreign country recently, I realised that in this country we prioritise the bottom line more than anything else, in my opinion. But saying that, recently the club putting that the fan advisory board together is a fantastic thing. I think that that's going to do so well for the club and bringing the fans and the club together. And at the end of the day, I think that the fans are the people that know best of what the fans would want. So it's great that they're bringing the both together, and I think that's a great step in the right direction.
That's everything. Thanks for your time, Nick. So we've learned what makes United so important to the people and community in Sheffield. What makes this so special is how long this has been prevalent in the Steel City. With over 130 years of history here, the Blades' only ever home ground, with generation after generation of United fans having this club as a major fixture in their weeks. It may be down to the unique history and fascinating records that the club holds that has forged this relationship between the team and the fans over the decades. It's seasons such as the Triple Salt season, in which United made the semi-finals of both domestic club competitions, as well as a playoff final, that builds this unique bond and fondness between the team and its supporters. Other aspects, such as the records of having the first Premier League goal and oldest professional football stadium in the world, give fans something to be proud of every time they walk into Bramall Lane. This all supports the idea that the club will always be a central part of Sheffield and its people.